Welcome to JLS Group of Institutes. Today I would like to explain the topic called passive elements. The passive element, what is the meaning of passive? What is the meaning of active? It is a very interesting topic. See the one by one element, how it will work in electrical components, how it can be arranged in a proper way such that the application will be reached. Okay. So in that RLC components, R and L are having the same nature of function. Okay. Whereas C is having some different nature of function. So among these two, what is the resistance proper? What is the actual meaning of a resistance or resistivity? Okay. Before that, what is the conductivity or is the conductance? Like this, we need to understand basic terminology of a passive elements. So what is passive meaning? Passive meaning means whatever the energy if you are giving the element, that energy will be dissipated through the load. Means there is no storage, perfect storage. Okay, there is no permanent storage of energy for the elements. If you give a certain amount of energy to the element, same amount of energy will be dissipated through the load. So such type of elements is called as the passive elements. Okay. So in these three elements, resistance and inductance and capacitance, three are passive elements. Whereas these L and C components, inductor and capacitance, okay, inductor and capacitor, these two are a transition period of storage will be present. Whereas resistance is there is no transition period of storage of energy. Okay, that's why this is a resistance. This is a power dissipated element. This is called as a power dissipated element. I will more emphasize on this resistance than this L and C. Okay, so before that, what is the conductance? What is the conductance? Conductance means the number of free electrons. The number of free electrons contributed to the material such that there is a production of current. There is a production of current. Then it is called as then these materials are called as a conducting materials. Okay, certain materials will contribute more number of electrons. Certain materials will contribute less number of electrons. Certain elements will not contribute any electrons or any carriers through flow. Okay, that materials are called as a dielectrics. Okay, or we can call as a they are called as a dielectrics or we can as a bad conductor of electricity. Okay, for example, I am driving a vehicle. For example, I am driving a vehicle. While I am driving, in between there is a speed breaker is present. Then what will happen? My flow will be restricted. Okay, my desired flow will be restricted. That is because of what? Because of speed breaker. Similarly, in a conductor, because of the collisions of electrons to the neighboring atoms, their speed will be restricted. That restriction is called as opposing. That restriction of what? Restriction of flow or opposing of flow is called as a resistance. That is denoted by R. How this restriction will be distributed? How this restriction or opposition will be distributed throughout the material means that depends upon the material properties. Okay, what type of material it is? Means if you see internal structure of a material, there is a atoms. Okay, around the atoms there is a electrons will be revolve around the nucleus. That means atomic structure of the material is plays a vital role. Means the conductivity or a resistivity of a particular material is depends upon the type of material. That is type of material means it does not depend upon the shape or structure of a material, but conductivity or resistivity perfectly depends upon a internal structure of atomic structure of a material. Okay, so I wanted to emphasize more on this resistance. For example, I have a resistivity. resistivity. As I told that it depends upon the material. Okay, resistivity. This is rho. What is the resistivity? Means rho is material dependent. As I told that it's a material dependent. Material dependent. Material dependent. So this is fixed. For any material, this is fixed. That particular type of material is depends upon what internal atomic structure of a material. So this rho or sigma are constant. These are constants. For any material, these two are constant. Okay. So if I have a material, a conductor of length L and area of cross section is A. For this material, what is the resistance? If I want to find, then my resistance R is equal to rho into L divided by A. It depends upon the resistance of this particular material. It depends upon the length of the conductor and area of cross section of a conductor. Okay. So this is a very, very important formula. This is a basic formula. And how this resistance will be affected if I modify the length and area of this particular conductor, we will see. We will derive one by one conditions. Before deriving these one by one conditions, I would like to explain what is the actually sigma conductance. Okay, so conductance is 1 divided by rho or conductivity. Okay, this is a rho. 1 by resistivity is conductivity. So what is the formula of rho? Is ohm into meter. Then what is the units, or what will become this from this notation? How this sigma will be derived means it's a mho per meter. This is a conductivity. This is a resistivity. What is the conductance then? Conductance is mho or Siemens. Okay. In any examination, if examiner asks us to derive the conductivity or resistivity, then we need to ensure that what is the actual meaning of conductance and conductivity, and what is the resistivity and resistance. Okay. Conductivity means it's a per unit measurement, whereas resistivity is along the length of the measurement. For example, I have a road, a CC road or tar road. Okay, for tar road, if I want to find the resistance of tar road, each and every point of the tar road or BT road, I can say that it's a BT road. In BT road, each and every point of in BT road, the resistance is same. That is resistance into along the BT road. That means resistance into length. That is resistance ohm into meter. The length, the units will become a ohm into meter. Okay, right. Then see how this resistance will be affected if I modify the length and the area of cross section of a conductor. I want to discuss this thing. Okay, it is very important. Acha. In one examination, the question is asked like this: which one of the following material is having a more conductivity? Option A, copper. Option B, silver. Option C, gold. Option D, aluminum. A simple railway examination, this question was asked. Okay, you need to understand in physical observation. You need to focus. Okay, in conductivity series, in conductor series, silver is the more conducting properties. It's having a more conducting properties, followed by copper, followed by gold, and followed by aluminum. So which one is the correct answer? Silver is the correct answer. Whereas in domestic applications, which one is the most preferable conductor will be used means that is copper. It's easily available and easily flexible. That's why if an examiner asks which one is having more conducting properties, then it is silver. If examiner asks that which one is a more domestically utilized conductor means that is copper. Okay, so that is one important question I given an example as an example. Okay, right. In this resistance, see it depends upon the length and area of cross section. Whereas this resistivity, this rho is a constant. You need to keep in your mind that this rho is fixed. This rho is fixed. What is the reason? Because it depends upon the atomic structure of a material, not the shape of material. Okay, so we need to play this length and area only. The examiner will ask, if examiner wants us to find the resistance of particular material if modifications done in length and area of cross section only, or area means what is the area of cross section of this circular means, that is pi r square. Pi r square, right? What is the resistance here? Here it is the resistance is inversely proportional to this radius of this cross section. Okay, I will derive one by one steps. First, if I fix length, what will happen? If I fix area of cross section, what will happen? Okay, if I fix length and if I vary the radius of the cross section, what will happen? These things I will derive. Okay, so please note this. Each and every notations I have given in this. You need to write down. Very, very important in all the competitive examinations. These are basic and fundamentals. Right. The first one, if length is fixed. First condition is length is fixed. L is fixed. L is fixed. If L is fixed, what will happen? If L is fixed, my resistance R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Why? Because L is fixed and rho is by default it's fixed. Then my R1 by R2 is equal A2 divided by A1. This is the first condition. And the next condition, second condition is, if my area of cross section is fixed, this is A is fixed now. If A is fixed, what will happen for resistance? R is directly proportional to the L. That means R1 divided by R2 is equal L1 divided by L2. This is the second notation. Next, third one, volume is fixed. Volume is constant. How volume is constant? For example, I have a one pipe. Initially, this pipe having this much of cross section, this much of length, and this much of area of cross section, and this pipe having a 1 kl of water. For example, for understanding purpose, it is having a 1 kl of water. This 1 kl is what? Volume of water, right? Quantity. Water quantity is 1 kl. Now, if I structure this conductor of length L2 like this, same material, same pipe, I structure like this. Previously it's like this. Now I structure like this, then it become like this. Now this length is L2, then area of cross section is A2. Then tell me that how much of quantity of water is distributed in this tube? Is it same quantity of 1 kl or some excess or some less? It's the same quantity, right? So same 1 kl is distributed along the pipe. That means volume is constant. Same. If I modify the length and area of cross section of a conductor, then there is no difference in volume. Volume is fixed. That's why this property is derived. Volume is fixed. Now see, in this formula, I can fix the volume in two ways. One is I can multiply area in the numerator, or I can multiply the length in denominator. See, this concept is, so many people think that this formula is very much known, and they will feel that it is very easy. Yeah, of course it is very easy, but it's also very twisty. So you need to very much focused on twisty questions. Okay, a possibility of asking the condition, the possibility of asking the conditions I am explaining here, which is very important in all the computer examinations. Okay, so how volume is fixed here with third notation? I can multiply the area in numerator, or I can multiply the length in denominator. Yeah, if I multiply the area in denominator, then this R then is proportional. If this area is fixed now, then what will happen? This R is directly proportional to the L1 and A1. Okay, if I fix it this one, then my resistance is directly inversely proportional to the A1 into L1. These are the two subnotations which are very much useful in volume constant condition. See how I derived the different notations from this small equation R is equal to rho into L by A. Okay. So if I fix L, what will happen? Area of cross section. If I fix area of cross section, what will happen? The length. How resistance will be depend on length of a conductor. And third condition, how my volume of this conductor is constant. Okay, volume of the conductor is constant in two ways. If I multiply the area of cross section in the numerator, or if I multiply the length of the conductor in denominator. Yeah. Here an important fourth notation or fourth condition is I am going to derive it, which is a very twisty, little bit twisty. That means if I vary the radius of this cross section, how my resistance will be affected. This is a beauty of derivation of resistance with reference to the radius of a conductor. Okay. See, this is area of conductor. This cross section is pi r square. This is the radius of the conductor, right? R. What is this one? This is the diameter d. My R is equal to d divided by 2. R is d divided by 2. I am writing fourth condition here. Please look at this. Fourth condition here. Fourth condition. R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. That means this area of cross section is pi r square. That means R is in turn inversely proportional to the square of the radius, that is r square, from this. Okay, from this r1 by r2 is equal to r2 square divided by r1 square. This is the fourth notation. Okay, these are the third. This is third notation. This is fourth notation. Write it down. Very much important. These notations are very much important. Okay, if you are aware of these notations, then I am going to solve some numericals on this. Friends, you should have a logical thinking while you are derive the conditions from this resistance formula. Okay. Same notations are applicable for the inductance. R and L, because the inductor is made up of the some windings from solid. I can say that it's a solenoidally twisted helical structure. Helically, you can modify the conductor of resistance R, then it will become a inductor. Okay, it's a small energy storing elements, a temporary or transit period of energy storing elements. That is inductor. Okay, so internal windings are having some resistance itself. Internally, this inductor is having some resistance. That's why the resistance and inductor having the same nature of notations. You can replace all resistance with the L. No problem. Whereas capacitor having the different functionality. This L and C are storing elements. Whereas resistor is not a storing elements. It's a dissipating element. It will generate heat. If you give a continuous power to the resistor, it will generate a heat. Whereas L and C also generate heat, but also these two elements will save the certain transit amount of energy. That's why these elements will be useful in transients. Right. Thank you, friends. Hi friends, let's see the question. This question is a very important question. This was asked in previous SSC and RRBJ examinations also. Let's see the question. The length of wire has a resistance of 4.5 ohms. Then find the resistance of another wire of the same material of 3 times long and twice the cross section area. As I told the previous session that the resistance effect of any conductor can be affected by the certain modifications, certain physical modifications in dimensions, right? So those dimensions, those modifications and those dimensions, variations I have already explained. So now see the numerical, how to solve this numerical. R1 divided by R2 is equal to, so resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. That means L1 divided by L2. And it is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. If you see the question, there are two modifications. There are two-dimensional modifications. What is that? Lengthwise and area-wise. Length is 3 times increased and area of cross section is 2 times increased. This is, see here it is 2 times and here it is 3 times. These are the modifications in dimensions of a conductor. Then what is the effect in resistance? That he is asking. So the lengthwise modification is resistance effect is directly proportional to the lengthwise modification, and it is inversely proportional to the area-wise modification. So how the area-wise modification will be done? That is A2 divided by A1. Okay. So R1 by R2 is equal to L1 by L2 into A2 divided by A1. What is L1 by L2? So in first case it is L1. In second case it becomes 3 times. Same material, means conductivity is same. That's why in this factor O is cancelled together. So L1 divided by 3 times of L1 into A2 is 2 times. So 2 times of what? A1. So divided by A1. This is the thing. So how much it is become now here? It's a 2 divided by 3. Right? R1 divided by R2 is equal to 2 divided by 3. What is R1 then? 4.5 ohms. So R1 is 4.5 ohms divided by R2 is equal to 2 by 3. Right? Then what is my R2? R2 is equal 3 into 4.5 divided by 2. Okay, so if you calculate this one, how much you will get? This is 2 times, this is 2 times 2.25. Then what is this one? 6.75. Which one is the answer? C. That is third option. 6.75 ohms is the R. This is the modified resistance. Modified resistance is 6.75. See, previously it is 4.5 ohms. Now it increased. Now this R affected, means R effect of resistance is increased to 6.75 ohms. What is the reason? See, you solve the question, but observe the effect. It will give the additional information. See, here when this effect of resistance will be increased more than previous case, means if there is more variation in lengthwise and less variation in area wise, area of cross section wise, then only the effect of resistance will be increased. Right? So here in lengthwise modification, if you have observed the lengthwise modification, it is increased 3 times. It is increased 3 times. Okay? Then it is increased 3 times. If denominator increased 3 times, what will the effect? If area wise this is 2 times of A1, this is 3 times of L1. Lengthwise increment is more. So this lengthwise increment is proportionate to what? Resistance 2. So these two are in denominator factors. So R2 effect is directly proportional to the lengthwise and inversely proportional to the area wise. See, if you observe the notation I have given here, R1 divided by R2, I want to find the R2. Here R2, if you observe the equation, 3 times increased in lengthwise, 2 times increased in area wise. That's why effect of resistance increased, that is 6.75 ohms. Say the next question. Question is like this: a wire of resistance R is melted. This case is melted and recasted to half of its length. There is a wire, it is melted and recasted to half of its length. Then the resistance of the wire will be. Here the effect is related to the volume modification. Volume modification. See, initially the conductor is like this. It's having a area of cross section A and length L. Now it has been recasted. It is melted and recasted, and this length becomes like this. It's become half of its length. This L becomes L by 2, and area of cross section is A1 and this is A2. So, for example, here it is 1 kiloliters of water. Then this pipe also having the capacity of 1 kiloliters of water. Okay, same quantity of water, because volume is constant. Volume is constant. V is constant. Okay, when V is constant, that means A1 into L1 is equal to A2 into L2. Okay, so A1 divided by A2 is equal to L2 divided by L1. What is L2 now? A1 divided by A2 is equal to L2 divided by L1. What is L2 and L1? Okay, this L2 means this length becomes off 1 by 2 times of this length L1. That means L1 becomes L1 by 2. Okay, so this becomes 0.5. A1 by A2 becomes 0.5. A1 by A2 becomes 0.5. What is the resistance? He asked us to find the resistance. Then see the R1 divided by R2 is equal to L1 divided by L2 into A2 divided by A1. This length L1 divided by L2, L2 becomes half of L1. Okay, this L2 is half of L1. That means means this becomes 2. This factor becomes 2. A2 divided by A1. A1 by A2 is 0.5. What about A2 by A1? It also becomes 2. Together R1 divided by R2 is equal to 4. Then what is R2? R2 is equal to R1 divided by 4. Which one is the option? Which one is the correct option? R divided by 4. C is the option. C is the option. See, here the modifications done in both ways. Previous session. But here the modification done in one parameter, that is length parameter. Length is recasted to half. Okay. So volume effect. So effect will be in terms of volume is constant, then the modifications is done lengthwise. Area wise it's same. So I connected area wise and then re-substituted in the resistance wise. So after calculations I got R1, R effect of R2, effect of means the resultant of the after modification, the resultant resistance is initial resistance divided by 4. Means resistance is reduced because length is reduced. Resistance also reduced. Yeah, see this question. A resistance of a certain wire of iron is R, and the modifications as done in lengthwise and area wise. See, lengthwise and area wise both are doubled. Then what is the effect in resultant resistance? He asked us to find the resultant resistance. Options are like this: R2 doubled, rho will be off, means becomes off, and option B, R2 becomes off and rho is same. Option C, R2 is off, rho also off, and option D, both resistance and rho are remains same. See, as I told in previous sessions, in basics of these passive elements, when I was explaining, I insisted and I stressed one point that for any material, resistivity and conductivity of any material is fixed. That means rho is fixed. See the options where rho is fixed. See, here rho is same, here the rho is same, here is variable. So the options are in between B and D only. That means easily you can answer the question because R is affected. See, option is maybe B or maybe D. Simply. And see the one more condition is both lengthwise and area wise affected. If lengthwise affected and area wise affected in similar manner, doubled, that means resistance effect also, resistance also will get affected. That means resistance is variable, but here is given resistance is fixed. So this is not a correct option. So this is not a correct option because rho is variable, is given rho is variable. So simply you can click the option as B only. This is the B is correct option. Without solving any notations, without solving the question, you can simply click the option B. But I want you to understand that how this R2 is become off and rho is same. But how this R2 is become off, that I want to explain. Say the concept. R1 divided by R2 is equal to L1 divided by L2 into A2 divided by A1. Right? So see the area of cross section of this conductor. What is the area of cross section of this conductor? Is pi r square. Right? That means area, this resistance R1 is directly proportional to the lengthwise modification and inversely proportional to the area wise modifications. So here R1 is inversely proportional to 1 by R square. Means R is inversely proportional to 1 by R square. That means R1 divided by R2 is equal to radius 2 square divided by radius 1 square. Right? So see here this area wise modification I am writing here like this: R2 divided by R1 whole square. R2 divided by R1 whole square. See here the area is doubled. That means this radius 2 means radius of second material is becomes 2 times. 2 times. That means this is 2 times of what? R1. This is equal L1 divided by L2. L1 divided by L2 means how much? This L1 is, for example, you treat it as L, and L2 becomes double. 2 times of L. L2 is 2 times of L into R2 divided by R1 whole square. That is how much? It's 2 times of R divided by R whole square. Okay. This is equal 1 by 2 into 4. R1 by R2 is equal to 2. Then what is R2? Now R2 becomes R1 by 2. That's why RP is become half. But without doing any solution, I simply given the option. Okay, so these are the possibility of asking the questions related to these passive elements. And what is the basic symbol and equivalent resistance? How to find the equivalent resistances? Kirchhoff laws. How Kirchhoff laws will be useful to find any branch voltage or any branch current. Okay, there are certain interesting topics are there. We will try to approach those things. Okay, so these are the possibility of asking the questions or numericals in many number of examinations. Okay, so see the modifications and how it will be affecting resistance. That is a main important thing. Okay, so we will continue the next topics, very interesting topics in next session. Please, if you like these concepts, if you enjoy these concepts,